Let's send our colonists. Accept. Soon, a radicalized group of evolvers have come forward with their proposition. They suggest ensuring the leading members of the Faith Keepers end up included in the colonist group that will set out for Winterhome. Faith Keepers have been a source of discord in the New London. Remember the evokers say, make sure the most of the among them. No. We're going to recruit equally. They haven't been that bad, guys. Like, you don't need to be that harsh. So, I could salvage it, which doesn't make sense. Why would I do that? Or we're going to settle it, which we're going to do. Accept. The avalanche is coming down. Winterhome? Colonized. Let's go. A new Winterhome. Burning toxic gas will spew toxic fumes. We have to frost break and contain all toxic fissures before the gas contagion becomes lethal. Safe. Rapid. Rapid. Rapid, please. All right, you guys do your thing. What else can I do? Grant agenda. Fun projects. There we go. De-radicalize them. Thank you. Mass goods, huh? Well, let's put it to vote and let's see what happens. It did not pass. I didn't keep my promise. That was up to you guys to get the respected votes, not me. Rat fast breaking harms workers. Tensions between the evokers and Faith Keepers are rising. Yeah, that was fake. Oh my god, how many people died? Yes, I can build some housing at least. Anything to research? Emergency medical hub? That's a good idea. We will build a hospital here in this district once it's finished. Always bending Stewart's ear to their psychotic ideas, driving our city to the ground, and now with Winterhome, they're putting us in danger with their madness. This can't continue. Someone's going to have to do something. What else? Safe, and we'll just expand out the city a little bit. It is getting cold. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't upgrade the effing generator. I got all the resources I needed and then just didn't do it. There we go. Oh, we'll build watchtowers. Death to the evolvers. Alright. We discovered that the ransack provisions and the dream is dead. Cores are gone. We never feel trust. Warmth again. Carved into the warehouse walls, followed by death to the evolvers. What do I need here? Extraction district? Is that what I need here? I think that's what I need, right? Housing for everyone here. Happy to the gas toxic springs filtration district. Oh, it's a new district! Oh, well that sucks for me, didn't it? That was dumb as hell. I see now. I get it. I am confused. How's this work? There. So it's the skull and crossbones. That's the one I want. I'm already going over here. There's the last one. Be over here. all just toxic. Everything here is toxic. Very toxic. Alright. That should be all the districts we need.
Steward.
Tensions are rising. And let's build the other watchtower. All toxic gas springs have been closed. Toxic gas will no longer threaten our winter home. What many once saw as a cursed, desolate land, you made habitable. This miracle proves that we could settle anywhere. The once cursed city will become a springboard from which we can expand even further. I see.
All toxic vents have been closed.
Yes.
Is safe.
Let's build a hospital now for everyone to help with machine. I think it's time to build some specialty things for food. I have the cores, I might as well use them, right? Alright, let's start breaking this area up a bit, huh? We get the cores, obviously. Smart thing to do. Coal I don't really... Okay, whatever, sure. We'll just build districts here to make materials. It's a big deal. There, see, simple. This might push me over the edge for adaption, which isn't ideal, but it's whatever.
The delegates have spoken.
Yep. Adaption is full.
Steward.
Embracing adaption. Steward, you have been leading us on a straight path towards adaption. Maybe the time has come to embrace it, to bring forth a society where a strong will prevail. People are ready to accept it. All you have to do is set it in motion. Powerful disease and heat demand reduction tool. Locks exile the weak city ability, which orders weak citizens to leave city, extremely decreasing disease. Heat demand in districts and buildings greatly decrease. But I'm not having that struggle. And that's just going to force me to repeal some of the laws and stuff I have that are toward progress, and I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? There's no need to do that. Keep hunger and disease absent, have a significant population in return. Oh, we need more people here, huh? Build more housing districts, because we're going to need them. Disease should be diminishing significantly here, so... not too concerned about it. You've shown it's possible to embrace the frost, that this new ice age is simply a catalyst for adaptation. The future is just within our reach, but our path to this point has divided our people. Trouble brews in New London. Chart your course with care. Get yourself together, we must do it, we must. If a crop is diseased, you burn its plants. If a scout has frostbite, you cut off the limb. And if a faction no longer serves the people, feeds them to winter home for a delusional cause, rips the future from our hands, what do? Exactly, we get rid of the people who destroyed our future. Here comes the stabbing. Backstabbing. Chapter 5, A Dream of Utopia. We got what? Started at chapter 3? We just blew through chapter 4. It was so easy. So let's see. Seek reconciliation. Decrease both fear of Actually, steer and reach positive relations with all communities to vote on peace accords. Let's try that. Why not? You have chosen to negotiate peace. If you confirm, you must succeed or you're ruled. Path to reconciliation. Peace will come when the overwhelming majority of delegates vote to pass peace accords. Yet no one will agree to even hold such a vote until all sides renounce violence. You must negotiate with both factions to find out what concessions this will require. Take care not to alienate any group too much. You will need the votes of all to pass the final accords. Alright, so...
Steward. Steward.
Do you hear it?
Projects...
Steward.
Promise to research this. I can do that.
Steward.
Boiling tension. The city must not fall. Protect. Save lives. Need more guard posts. I definitely need to do this. Only have 6 delegates. Build a mechanicalized sawmill. I can do that. Standard working model. Let's see if we can get it to pass.
Hear ye.
No, it
hear
did
ye.
not.
The proposed law has been rejected.
I have to build a mechanical saw now. Oh boy. Let's build another extraction for the cores. Need food. I'm going to cancel that.
Are you listening?
Alright, de-radicalize. Thank you.
Bad.
Steward.
Steward.
De-radicalize. Fantastic. I don't know why all my factions just got really happy with me. I really have no idea. Let's build more housing now because we need it. We're also building our industrial district to produce more goods. Because we need it. Refuse radical measures like that. Okay. So we have to get rid of Apex workers. Or refurbishing goods factory. That's what I was gonna do anyways. Alright, cool. That'll help reduce tension as well.
The
And make our
eyes
workers just have
have
better
it.
lives in general, you know. We succeeded in undoing all radical measures present in the city.
Steward.
Negotiate peace agreement. Steward, following the Faith Keepers' unprovoked aggression, the Evolvers are very reluctant to talk about peace. However, they are willing to hold a vote on peace agreement if you were to provide some guarantees that their ideas. So technological adaptability, I think, is a good thing. Or as please, you're willing to commit to technological adaptability. If you enact 2 key elements of this vision, they will trust you enough to envision a long-lasting peace. What is your first measure? So, let's see, Moss Filtration Tower. I think that's a good idea. And then waste repurposing facility. I think we already have ones. Right, because that's what we have here, right? This one. Yes, so 1, 2, and I'm gonna have to build a new one here anyways. So, build 3 more. No, we're not doing that. Here's what I'll do. I'll dismantle the ones I currently have and then rebuild them again if that's what it takes for you guys to be happy about it. Refurbish goods. Alright, you guys are gonna be mining coal now. Alright, let's go ahead and rebuild these guys before Squalor gets out of hand. Alright. Once we finish researching, we can build 2 moss filtration. No big deal.
Stuart.
You guys see radicalized yet? 13 weeks. Oh my god. Where are they? Moss filtration. 1. Also, I did build 3 of these waste repurposing facilities, but it didn't count it. Moss filtration. Here's what. I'll go to Winterhome and build some.
Stuart!
Stuart. Are you listening?
Guard humanity. Stuart, a civil war has turned for the worse. This spreads yet in our district. Hey, yeah, you guys. It's funny because it's not the Faith Keepers that's causing the problem right now. It's the Evolvers. For some reason, even though I have they trust me the most and they love me the most, they're still pissed off, and I just don't know why. Help decrease squalor over here anyway, so. Relations with evokers improve, evokers' fear decreases.
Secure.
I keep saying evokers, it's evolvers. I don't know why, I don't know where I'm getting evokers from. I still find it hilariously that they're the
Are
one
you
protesting.
listening?
Stuart!
Negotiate
We are
peace.
calling you, Stuart.
Resource abundance. Coal, synthetic. You know what? We'll do the coal plant. Sure. Sure, we'll build this. Why not? This will be the second final. Oh. Charcoal plant, sure. Go on over to Winterhome. That's where it is. Stuart, many of the common people support your efforts to persuade the faction militants to cease fighting. Some of them seek an active role to help the cause of peace. We know many of those now blinded by hate. Often they were our neighbors, even family members. We believe we can make them see reason, says the spokesman. We will fight for it, if need be. Allow civil peacekeepers. No. Deny. Sorry, deny. It goes here. That's okay. I need to build the other thing over here anyways, so it's whatever. This is why I didn't want to build multiple cities in my original playthrough. Because I knew it was going to be a massive pain. It always is a massive pain to balance this kind of crap. I should take care of the housing. The last thing they need is more food. And I expand this. Nope, I can't do that either. Now I can expand. Now I can build this. Now I can fill this up as much as I can. They won't let me demolish the district that is currently rioting, which again, may I remind everyone, is the Evolvers, who I've already fulfilled their demands and stuff, but they're still being a bunch of party poopers and rioting for literally no reason. Vicious abundance enacted. Faith Keepers are not as militant now that they have a proportion of what they wanted. Pass the peace accord. Okay. The peace accord. Propose. Vote. And it passed almost unanimously, the highest we've ever had.
Hear ye, the proposed law.
We have secured an end to the Civil War. The wavering factions have agreed to put aside their grievances and settle their disputes in the Council. This peace will last for as long as we keep working at it. We have peace for now. The end of this war, we thought it impossible. That which spawned from condemnation could only produce conflict. To take two groups fundamentally opposed to each other at their core and bring them together. Never have we been so happy to be wrong. We can only hope this peace will last long enough to rebuild the city, Tonight, we celebrate. Tomorrow, we get back to work. Well done, Stuart. Against all odds, you have succeeded. The city stands. In the darkest hour, you strived for peace. Hope persists. A flicker in the wind. Maybe you wanted everyone to get along. Support the Evolvers in their vision of the future. Maybe you tried your very best. 737 people died trying to become Apex workers. 737 liberated youth forged their own path. 733 Maybe you always looked for a middle path. Winter home settled. Something had to be done. Maybe you never gave up, even at the brink. 400 bystanders died in the Civil War. 5 districts damaged. The peace vote passes. 92 in favor. Hostiles ceased. New London finds peace. For now. I wasn't planning on going the middle path, but here we are. Even so. Tragic story you're gonna try to tell this time. May. Shopkeeper learns a new trade. Mother lost during the Civil War. I knew it. I knew they were gonna do that. I don't even know if it's possible to get a happy ending for this little May here. Even as life is harsh, her head is full of dreams. The path of peace is narrow. And as long as we roam this still, cold world, it has no end. Those are the 3 different endings we have achieved with the main story. I feel like we've seen all of them. I was surprised that I could achieve peace with both factions. I thought for sure to pick one over the other, but that's just because that's how my first playthrough went. And then as the more I played, I was like, you know, maybe I should try to balance, because my goal was to always keep New Londoners in favor of me, or at least warm relations towards me, so I could decrease the fear of the Faith Keepers. Try to keep the Faith Keepers under control. Which I did. And then by doing so, I was able to find a center path to have both factions be happy and get along. Now, I still have absolutely no idea, literally no idea, why the Evolvers were still protesting. I had maxed out trust in them. I fulfilled all of their demands, and yet they still were protesting. That makes no sense. I don't know if that's a bug or a glitch. It feels like it is because it literally makes no feasible sense whatsoever. But that's all that we have for the main story of Frostpunk 2. Now, there is an endless Utopia mode, which I probably will do, but I won't edit it for YouTube simply because we've seen everything, right? Like, there's no story. It's just an endless replay for me to go as far and as long as I want to, just like the same thing that was in the original Frostpunk, which I did play a little bit of. As far as the comparison between the first and second game, there are some aspects of the first game I like more than the second game. I like being able to, you know, in the first game we were able to get really zoomed in on the city and we could see the people walking through the snow to gather the supply and resources. I really like that aspect, even if it is just a minor touch of detail. Sure, we could zoom in into the individual districts, but there really wasn't any reason to or need to. It was a bigger city simulator. I mean, that's kind of why. It's not the fault of the devs of the game and whatnot. They had to change some things. The biggest thing, though, is exploration. Felt much more impactful and important in the first game than it ever did in this game. Sure, it had small little events, but it just didn't feel important. It didn't have any impact on the story whatsoever. It was just kind of, it was there. It was like an afterthought, it felt like. You know, and it was kind of sad because the exploring the first game was very impactful. It had its own really intense screen to it, right? It brought detail in on some of the, you know, important areas that had impacts on the story. There wasn't any this time around. The exploration team was just kind of there to get me infinite resources for stuff I couldn't produce at home. And we did find some things that could have had some impact at the very end of this run, but I just didn't care. There was no need. There was no consequences. I wasn't forced to make a decision. I could have just ignored it, which I did for the most part, because there is no purpose. Other than that, the research tree was really cool in being able to pick one faction side or the other, but I didn't like that I had to research something and then I had to pass it in the console. I didn't like that a lot of laws and stuff was locked behind me researching something in the research tree. I don't get that. Their policy. It's not a scientific advancement. In my mind, researching is researching something to scientifically advance or improve something meaningfully. This, I had to research children going to school, children being free, you know, or having more of a faith route, and then enact that in law. I didn't like having to do that because it took away from the policy making of what this game was in the first game and then in the second game, because now I have to go research something, which it just added an extra unnecessary step. I like being able to negotiate with the different factions. I thought that was really well done with the policy making aspect of the game, but I really just, I didn't care for or like that I had to go research something and then go pass it in law. I think that was silly. It's a policy. There's nothing to research. We're not doing a case study or whatever. So, I don't know. That's my thought with that research. The only other thing I have for the research is I'd research something and then I have to build it, right? Which I was fine with, but there was a lot of buildings to keep track of. But anyways, that is Frostpunk 2. I hoped everyone enjoyed. Those are my thoughts, of course. They're all my personal opinion. I'm sure others would have completely different opinions than me, and that's totally fine, totally fair. Anyways, thank you everyone so much for watching. My name is GhJared, and we'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye-bye! Have a good night, everyone!